Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. For this week's reading, I'm using my Everyday Witch tarot deck, one of my faves, and I'm going to start by drawing 3 cards for the week ahead. And my intention with this reading is just to kind of get an overall overview or a snapshot of the week ahead to get some ideas and inspiration. And if you enjoy this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave me a comment, and of course check out my website dailytarotgirl.com. I've got tons of fun tarot learning resources on there for you. Okay, so let's begin with the first card. The first card is for Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. And here we have Justice. My least favorite card in the entire tarot deck is Justice. And I need to take a sip of tea. Just needed to take that sip of tea to psych myself up for reading my least favorite card. So Justice is not a bad card. This is not one of those scary cards. It's not a negative card. I just have a hard time connecting with this card. Because Lady Justice always, to me, seems very serious. She just seems like a very kind of detached, serious kind of woman. And she's supposed to be detached because she is unbiased. She's able to look at a situation with a really clear head and not get swayed by emotion, sentimentality, or narrative, or, you know, anything that can kind of sway, it can stop you from really just kind of looking at the facts. So she's very impartial and fair in her judgments because she's able to do that. So what does this card mean for us? Why is it here at the very beginning of the week? So at the beginning of the week, this is a time to really tap into your powers of discernment. So a lot of people say judgment is, being judgy is bad and being judgmental is bad. But there's a difference between being judgmental and just being discerning. And Justice is very good at being discerning. She can look at people, situations, and things, and she can discern whether or not this is going to be a good thing or not a good thing, whether this is going to be helpful or unhelpful. So at the beginning of the week, you really want to tap into your powers of discernment. And sometimes doing this means you have to kind of drop your story, drop your own interpretation, or even stepping away from, I don't want to say stepping away from feelings or emotions, but kind of like stepping out of, getting away from being sentimental and just being able to look at the facts about something in order to be discerning. Now let's have a look at the card for the middle of the week. So Wednesday and Thursday, we have the Lovers. So what's interesting is that we have 2 major arcana cards here in a row, which is kind of neat. So the Lovers has a different energy than Lady Justice. Lady Justice is kind of about being serious, making some decisions, and having good judgment, using your powers of discernment. And here with the Lovers for the middle of the week, the Lovers, it is about coming together. There's an air of, I want to say celebration, but it's something deeper than celebration. And I'm just trying to work out what this card means for us midweek. I feel like it would be kind of a cop-out for me to say that the middle of the week is about connecting with your lover, with your partner. I mean, it is a good time. So this card can show that midweek is a good time to kind of check in with your partner, reconnect. But I feel like there's more to this card. You know what? Let's look at the third card, which is the card for the weekend, and then we're going to come back to the Lovers. So that's what I do when I'm having trouble with a card. I move on and then come back to it. All right, so here we have King of Cups for the end of the week. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And a couple of things jump out to me on this card. So that telescope that he's looking through, to me, is about being able to see what's on the horizon, kind of looking ahead so you can plan accordingly. Kind of thinking, okay, what's coming up? How are things gonna turn out? There is this sort of air of, planning ahead and expanding your horizon, expanding your viewpoint. I also think that the King of Cups is such an interesting figure because he is a king. So he has that authority and responsibility and confidence and power of a king. But because he's the King of Cups, and cups represents water, and water is this really untamable energy. Water, or I should say untamable element. Water and the Suit of Cups represents your feelings and your emotions and relationships. And those are things that can be stable. Often they're not. They can, just think about how water acts. It can be frozen. It can be stagnant if it's not moving. It can be rushing like a rushing river. It can be like the ocean. It can be like waves. It can be like a tsunami. It can be like a calm, beautiful lake. There's so many different ways that water behaves, and it's really like our emotions in a lot of ways. It kind of mirrors our feelings and our emotions. And so this particular king has found a way to notice how he's on a little island. He has both his feet firmly planted on the ground, but he's surrounded by water. So he's found a way to ground himself and center himself, even amidst emotions, maybe turbulent emotions, passionate emotions, exciting emotions. He's found a way to hold on to his center, and that is where his power lies. The other kings have power for other reasons, but this is where the power of the King of Cups comes from. He doesn't shut out his emotions. He doesn't ignore them. He's not cut off from them. He is engaged with them. He can feel fully, but he knows how to process his emotions, and he knows how to hold on to himself so that he doesn't get swept up in them and lose himself in his strong feelings. So I kind of went off on a tangent there. So what does he mean for us for the weekend? I think that the weekend is a good time to focus on grounding your energy, connecting with your core, connecting with your center, even if there's a lot going on in your life. And it may not even be emotions. It may just be your life is really busy, or there's a lot of chaos, or there's a lot of moving parts. And the King of Cups is saying, hey, you've got this. If you can hold on to your center, you can really, work through anything. And now let's go back to the Lovers, and hopefully coming back to the Lovers will be easier for me than the first time around. So what's interesting here is that this reading is flanked by two single people, Lady Justice and King of Cups. And then the Lovers, it's almost like these two energies merge together. So with Justice, this is a woman who's fairly serious. She has a good head on her shoulders. She has good discernment, good judgment. And then King of Cups, who is probably more a feeling-centered character than Lady Justice. He's more emotional, he's more emotive, perhaps even more passionate. But like Lady Justice, he also has a good head on his shoulders, and he is grounded and stable. And it's like those two energies come together midweek. And so midweek is a time, I think, to really kind of marry your inner Lady Justice with your inner King of Cups. Lady Justice being kind of the good head on your shoulders, King of Cups being your ability to incorporate feelings and emotions into your decision making, not letting them dictate what decisions you make, but being able to trying to think of another way. Remember when I was talking about Lady Justice, I said she's kind of, not that she's cut off from her emotions, but she doesn't let those things sway her. King of Cups is about taking it all into consideration, not being ruled by your emotions, but also not cutting your emotions off. So Lady Justice in some ways is kind of in her head a lot of the time, where King of Cups is more in his body. He's in his heart, really. So the Lovers may even represent a coming together of the head and the heart. The head being your rational kind of thinking side, the heart being more your feeling side, your ability to be compassionate, to see the big picture. Actually, yeah, that's what he's doing here with the telescope. He's seeing the big picture. When you're centered in your heart, you can see the big picture, you can see how things connect, and at the same time, you can connect more deeply with those in your life, your loved ones. So I don't know if that reading was very clear cut or not, but I feel like midweek is a time to check in with the heart. If you're really stuck in your head, check in with your heart. You want to kind of bring those two parts of yourself together. Okay, so I've been babbling for a while, but I do want to look at all three cards to see if there's anything else I want to mention. I think it's interesting how Lady Justice, there's the two cats on the scales, and then there's two cats here as well, and two people. So like Lady Justice is about kind of taking a balanced viewpoint. And then as we get into the middle of the week, it's not just about having a balanced view of things, it's about balancing your head and your heart and incorporating those two things into your day-to-day life. Okay, so I hope you found that reading helpful. Feel free to add your own 2 cents, your own take on these cards in the comment section below. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful week.